It's a clear January day west of Denver. In the red rocks where the mountains begin their climb, I struggle into a bunny suit.
I did. I put my foot through the arm.
Yeah, that's what they call them, the fashion-fail cleanroom garb designed to keep the tiniest debris, even beard stubble, out of America's newest weather satellites. Even our electronics must be screened. Nothing we can bring in can transmit to prevent damage to the sophisticated tools on board what you're about to see. It's all worth it. My guide is Tim Gasparini, Lockheed Martin's VP for the GOES satellites in commercial space. And GOES-S will become the satellite looking over us, the new GOES West.
The satellite has two instruments that face the Earth that worry about terrestrial weather. The first one is the Advanced Baseline Imager, or we call it ABI. And that instrument is the instrument when you see the fantastic images that have been coming off of GOES 16. That's the instrument that develops those pictures of the Earth.
When we talk about weather technology, this is the state of the art. The third of the new generation of GOES satellites. This satellite is GOES-T. It launches in 2020 and will be stored in space if GOES East or GOES West runs into issues. They're all identical. But it's not just about the weather. Take a look at this image. Last summer, as the first GOES satellite roamed the country as part of its testing before taking up its permanent position as GOES East, it looked at western wildfires. You can see the outlines of eastern Washington, Idaho, Montana, and Wyoming. But these pictures are a combination of images of what you can see with your eyes with temperature and light we can't see, called infrared.
So the ABI has 16 what we call data channels, or different detectors to look at the Earth. And each one of those detectors is tuned to do something different.
You know, it ended up being something where I was like, wow, this is going to be a game changer.
Josh Clark is the fire weather meteorologist for the Washington Department of Natural Resources, the state's largest wildland fire department, and he's already using GOES data. This is a shot of the fires in California.
So I can see the smoke plume starting to develop, and when I switch to the infrared channel, the shortwave infrared channel, there's a fire detection algorithm that is associated with that is actually picking up the hot spots.
As a high-definition satellite, it can spot a fire while it's still pretty small, process the image and send it to the ground much faster, which means fires can be found and put out before they can grow big, unlike older satellites.
By the time that we could see it on satellite imagery, it was either already reported or it was of such coarse resolution that it was hard to pinpoint where it actually was.
Then there's this. The ability of GOES to see and track lightning from a geostationary satellite for the first time. GOES East tracked the building of last summer's hurricanes.
They've never been able to see the lightning in the eye wall before. And there's some theories about lightning and eye wall and the intensification of storms that they can now see. They can now better understand the intensification of hurricanes just because they can see the lightning in there. So it's just going to open up remarkable avenues of prediction capability.
So you'll see there are these clouds that are forming.
Angela Rowe is a University of Washington storm expert who is using the new satellites for research. These images are not of the United States, but over Argentina, which has some of the world's craziest thunderstorm development, and the GOES East satellite can see Argentina. This fall, the UW will join in a large research project to learn lessons from these regular exploding storms.
Then you can use that to understand changes you see in the lightning signatures and relate that to rapid development, intensification, or severe weather at a much faster timescale than we ever could before.
It would give us information we haven't had before.
Lynn McMurdy is working with Rowe on this big project called Relámpago, Spanish for lightning. The hope is this research will better help forecasters understand which storm characteristics will lead to the most violent weather.
Oh, this is the storm that's going to make the tornado, not that one. So the lightning there may be a signature in that lightning information for that.
In Washington, lightning is often a source for wildfires, and the east side of the state can see big thunderstorms. But further out to sea, the new GOES West will be able to do something else in the infrared range. Sea storms develop out over the Pacific by analyzing water vapor at multiple altitudes, much like this GOES East image over the southeastern U.S.
If you can track this moisture convergence, do we see initiation, and what other factors control that? So what signatures can we see in the satellite that can help us determine, first and foremost, where and when they'll initiate?
The satellite that will become GOES West was assembled and shipped to Cape Canaveral months ago. It's scheduled to launch March 1st, giving us a new, sharper eye on our western world. In Littleton, Colorado, Glenn Farley, King 5 News.